Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I've got a deck report for a list that I actually brought to a League Cup on Sunday. I actually ended up with at fourth, top four, finished with this list with Volcanion. I decided to play Volcanion because it was a small tournament. I was like 10 to 15 masters, so I decided that something fast would be better. Something that could take prizes easy, something that could basically just try to power through a lot of the matchups that I was going to be seeing. And it did alright. I ended up losing it to Tony Jimenez in top four. He was playing Garb with Lycanroc tech. I just drew really dead game three overall. Like really, really dead to the point where at one point I had no setup on the board and triple VS Secret double escape permanent hand with no supporters. So it happens. It's Pokemon. That's how that goes. But this is the list that I played going in this event. Round one, I played against the Solgaleo Metagross, which, as you can imagine, is a very good matchup. He did almost beat me game one if he would have drawn into another choice band for the Metagross for the one shot, but he did whiff it off of a Sycamore. And then it was best of three, so that was just game one that happened, and then game two is basically just a slaughter. Round two, I played against my brother Kevin. He was playing Decidueye. We ultimately decided to ID just because of how small the tournament was. We felt like we could get away with it, but we did end up playing a game. I won the first game or the second. Either way, we only played two games. I won one and he won one. And I think I ended up winning the first one just because I got a really, really aggressive start. But Decidueye is not a matchup that I thought would be. I thought it would be really, really strong for this deck. It's actually not. Lele makes this matchup so much better for Decidueye. It also makes it so... Like, obviously, I know, like, the Lysandre tricks back in the day. You like Lysandre Volcanions and stuff, but you can play around. You can try to play around that. Like, the fact that my list only played one float kind of hurt that. But ultimately, it was one of those things where the Lele just makes the matchup so much harder now. Because they'll usually play at least one, if not two. And they'll just be able to just go into it and just swing for 100 whenever they want to. But round three, I played against another friend of ours, Jared Ruby. He's also played Decidueye. That one was... It was really, really close. We ultimately decided to tie as well, but he did end up winning the games that we played. I think he won he won game one. I got game two, and then we went to a game three, and he ended up ultimately winning that game, which in the record we decided to tie because it was just better that way. But like I'm talking, this was like a 10-11 person tournament, so 202 made cut, which was stupid. My last round, I played against a senior, which, again, it just shows how little this tournament was. Also playing Volcanion, it was a mirror match, and ultimately I ended up 2-0ing it just because I just got more aggressive setups overall, and it was just more dominating board position for me compared to the person I was playing against. At top 8, I was going to play against a Garb. John Turner, he was playing Garb, but he ultimately decided to scoop to me because he didn't really care too much. Prize was already awarded. Points only went to top 4, so and he wasn't anywhere close, so he had ultimately decided he didn't want to play anymore. But then I played against Tony in top 4, who is aggressively seeking that top 16, and I ultimately ended up losing to him. But it was good. It was a good weekend overall. I like the deck Volcanion a lot. I think it's a solid choice going into Seattle. The only thing I would keep in mind if you're going to play Volcanion is you will lose to Ninja very hard. And Decidueye is not the best matchup either because of the fact that they can just Lele spam you and do whatever else they need to do. But this was the list that I played to make a top 4. This was a very rough list. I do think that there's some things that can be changed here. The big things were like... The Hex was okay. It was good in some situations. It wasn't in others. So you could go into something else there if you wanted to. The 13 Fire was absolutely clutch, and I would never play anything less than that because you always hit your elixirs, and that's always what you want to do. You always want to be hitting elixirs. You always want to have the energies to be able to steam up, to attach, to do whatever. And 13 really helps with that, especially with the 2 Retrival and the Fisherman. and everything else. So now the one float stone was something I kind of just put in last minute, and if I would do it over, I'd probably go to like a 2 float stone, 1 escape rope list, only because the float stone they have to blower it to get use out of it, compared to the escape rope that you just drop it and then it's gone for the rest of. Whereas float stone you can keep using it, but at the same time I kind of like the 2 escape rope, 1 float too. It's almost a preference thing when it all comes down to it. Escape rope is really nasty in this deck though, because if they set up something that they're just going to sacrifice, you can rope out of it, and then you can get something that's actually valuable. The one thing I was also considering in this, and I know a lot of decks have been going to this, and I think it's really, really strong in this, is playing a 3rd Lysandre. And that's mainly because of all of the... Well, Decidueye it's good against, because you can Lysandre out Decidueyes and one-shot them. And then that way, too, you don't have to be a Seeker for them, because you can't, because of Vileplume. So the 3rd one kind of gives you that option. It's also just kind of good against a lot of things in general, and I think ultimately the 3 Lysandre might be the better way to go in this format. Mainly because of Garb. I think Garbodor in this deck could be really bad against Garbodor, but at the same time, it kind of just depends on how you play it and how you actually end up drawing. Basically, if you can make it to where they are hitting you for a little bit, and you're setting up with a baby Volcanion, and they're maybe 2-shotting a baby Volcanion, and you get to a point where you have 2 Volcanions in play, and you don't have enough items for the Garbodor to one-shot it, you should win that matchup. That is ultimately where you go. Basically, if you can get 2 Volcanions out by the time that you don't have, or by the time that you have items, 9 items is the limit. You can go to 9, you can go to 8, don't go to 9, because if you go to 9, your Volcanions are getting one-shotted, and that's not good. But ultimately, like I said, this is a good list. I think there are some things that definitely could be tweaked about it. Definitely, if you guys have any thoughts, just give me a heads up in the comments or anything, just because this is a deck I will be working on over the course of testing, and it was the first one I decided to play in an actual event. So, and I'll be playing other stuff too, but this is ultimately the first one I decided. And it doesn't mean I'm going to play it for everything and do just Volcanion, but it's something that I will consider heavily just because I have played it in a tournament before. But this has been my tournament report for that League Cup. I will be doing these as I go to more League Cups over the course of the next couple of weeks, up until internationals. So I'll be posting out these little reports, these little videos, just showing off what I played, how I played, what I played against, that kind of thing. But if you're at this point of the video, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I apologize profusely that I haven't been able to get content out lately. I've been having a very busy week with a lot of other things that's been going on in my life, and it's not an excuse, but it's something that I just haven't really been managing my time very well. So, but that's why I'm getting this content to you now, especially before Seattle. I will be also making a video about what my 2 choices would be for Seattle if I were going. But this is for another video. But again, thank you for watching. If you like what you see, you could subscribe to me on Twitch, Chubby Chalupa TCG. You're obviously watching this on the YouTube channel. You can subscribe if you'd like. Give it a like. Give it a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. Helps me know what's good, what's not. Twitter is a good place at Crabber914 if you want to follow me on Twitter. Facebook, Chubby Chalupa TCG is another little site that I'm trying to get up to. Ultimately, it's one of those things where it'll come to pass over time, but it's one of those things where I think the best way is just via YouTube videos and via my own personal Facebook. So